Hey, everybody. On today's show, we have a very, very special guest, podcaster, metal, and muscle bear. Hunter Harden is going to join us for the whole episode. It's going to be super exciting. We're going to get into the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, a little bit of Drag Race, and a bunch more. So grab a drink and enjoy the show. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Who Invited Her. We are San Diego's LGBTQ pop culture podcast. I'm your host, Tony. Oh, and the spicy little meatball is back this week. Bash is here. Hi, Bash.
Hi, Tony.
And Party Bear Eric is back this week, too.
Hi, everyone.
And the one running the show, making us all look fabulous, producer Rob.
Hey, everybody, I'm here too.
Miss Miriam T is off today because she has tea party tonight, which we're going to be at. And if you guys tune in to our Instagram tonight around 8 o'clock, we're going to live feed some of the tea party so you can see Miss Miriam T in action. But on today's show, we are super excited. We've been wanting to get him on the show for such a long time. Hunter Arden is joining us today. Hi, Hunter.
Hello. I'm so glad to be here.
I know. Last time we saw you was at DragCon, like what, 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago when we
9 years ago.
It feels like 9 years ago,
right? So for people who aren't familiar with Hunter, you are a podcaster now, model, all of the good stuff. You're all over socials. Everybody sees you over there with your husband, your new husband.
Yes. Brand
So
new.
where are you guys located at? You're in Salt Lake City right now, right?
Yes, we're in Salt Lake City, Utah.
When did you guys get there? Are you originally from Salt Lake, or when did you make the move there?
I'm actually from Reno, Nevada.
Oh,
And then today is the, I think, 7-year anniversary of when I moved from Reno, Nevada to South Carolina to be with my now husband.
Oh, wow. That's
Congrats.
cool.
Yes.
So what made you decide to make the move to Salt Lake City? Because, I mean, everybody thinks Mormon town when they think of Salt Lake. So what was like, why did you go, you know what's going to be a good idea? Salt Lake City. Let's go.
Well, my husband got a job out here,
Oh, nice.
so they offered to move us out here, and we wanted to get out of South Carolina. Like, that was a really hard place to be gay.
Oh, gosh. What part of South Carolina were you in?
Anderson, South Carolina. The nearest gay bar was 2 hours away in Atlanta, Georgia.
No,
Oh my
thank you,
God.
ma'am.
Nope.
No, thank you, ma'am. Nope.
So it was horrible there. So we're like, a new place to live, Utah.
Yeah.
Screw it, let's do it. We'll go live with all the Mormons. They're nice enough.
And you guys are really enjoying Salt Lake City because on your Instagram and all over social, you're posting all the time, and it's so beautiful there. And
It
which
is gorgeous.
we were talking about before that we started the show, and Bashi was saying how it's just gorgeous, and I didn't realize how beautiful it was because I haven't been there since I was in my early 20s.
Oh yeah. The second we moved here, we made a ton of like new friends, and we haven't even been snowboarding yet up in the mountains or skiing or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we really love it here. It's gorgeous here. We really like the people that live here. There's a big gay community here.
Yeah.
We
I love
love
it.
it here.
Yeah,
I want to go.
I know it would be so much fun. How
I
do you
like
handle?
mountains.
How do you handle the Mormon aspect of? Are you religious to begin with? Are you Mormon?
Oh God, no.
Oh, there's a twist. There's a twist.
I look very, very Mormon.
You look very Mormon.
But no, I'm Christian, kind of. I
Yeah.
believe something's out there, but I grew up Christian. But honestly, the Mormons are more on the outskirts of Salt Lake City,
Oh, okay.
in the surrounding towns. So we don't really get any kind of run-ins with them. It's pretty easy here.
How is the gay culture out there? The gay scene in Salt Lake?
There are two or three gay bars. There's a good little drag scene here. It's a lot better than South Carolina.
I bet. I bet. So you moved out there, and then you guys decided to start a podcast and get into the whole podcast world. So
Yes.
so let everybody know what your podcast is about and what you guys cover and all that.
All right. Well, we started as the Real Housebears of Salt Lake City because the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City started last year, and we decided to do a podcast about it because we love the Housewives, especially my husband. My husband is like a diehard Housewives fan.
Yeah.
So
and
now
he's very like the knowledge he drops in the episodes about the Salt Lake girls.
He's seen
so
them all
fascinating.
from like beginning to end. So it's just he knows so much, and he really gets involved in it. And we sit there and take notes on the show forever.
Have you met any of the cast from Salt Lake?
Yes.
You have? Which ones?
We're actually besties now with Heather Gay.
Oh, I love Heather Gay. She's my favorite on there. Her and Jen Shaw are my two favorite on the.
Yeah,
on the,
they're
on the
definitely
show.
my two. I really love Whitney Rose as well,
Yeah.
but Jen Shaw was like my favorite right away.
Yeah, she has like a no
those
fucks
jewelry
attitude.
dolls.
Yeah.
Oh, and those outfits. She has given us Housewives gold.
How did you end up meeting her? Was it through the podcast and the show?
Yeah, so we reached out to her and asked if she wanted to be on our podcast. And she's like, well, there's a lot of red tape that goes on it, but we want you on our podcast, which was their podcast, Live, Love, Laugh.
Oh, nice.
So that's how we worked it in.
That's good.
Nice. That's fun.
The second we met, they were super nice. We ended up hanging out for like 3 hours. The next week, we went and did karaoke with them. And we've had brunch with Heather Gay.
Oh, how cool. Is she exactly like she is on the show, or is she different in real life?
She is exactly the same on the show.
Nice.
Like in person, she is just heart of gold. There's a big reason why she is a fan favorite.
Yeah, and when I was doing research for today's show and I was looking at social to see like what's happening with the girls from the show, she's the one that popped up the most like on Twitter and on social media as far as fans liking her the most.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then the one in the cast that everybody seems to have drama with or have an opinion about is Mary Cosby.
Ooh,
And you
so
guys
many
talk a
people
lot
out
about
there.
her on your show.
I mean, how can you not?
I know.
She is
It's
just
great TV.
too much. She vomits crazy stuff verbally.
Yeah.
Like so, and I mean, she married her grandfather. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, she married a grandfather.
Said
I
it
know
was
that
in the
his
will.
face.
I don't get it.
Oh,
It was in the will.
It was like-
Explain it for our listeners.
yeah. So she says in the beginning of the show that it was in her grandmother's will that she marry her grandfather, whatever he's going to be to her, step grandfather.
Right.
Anything. And then when she passed away, Mary Cosby divorced her husband, married him, and is now the leader of the church and owns all of the businesses. But it comes out later on in the reunion that it wasn't even in the will.
What? I didn't see the reunion.
So
really?
she would have gotten it all anyway?
She would have gotten, I'm not sure if she would have gotten everything, but it wasn't in the will to marry her grandfather.
Okay.
Oh, she put that in for a storyline. Look at her.
I knew something about it. I don't know if I would do the same. I really like money and businesses and a cult of personality around me.
I really like money. I love money.
But I don't think I'd marry my great grandfather. That's a little too old. Yeah.
And what's funny is the grandmother and the grandfather were further distance in age than Mary Cosby is with the grandfather. There's like an 18 to 22 year difference between the grandmother and her. So I don't know. And also Whitney Rose, that's on the show, her husband is also 18 years older than her.
Jesus Christ.
Love is love.
Love is love.
Love is love.
You're right. Love is
Get it where you need it.
Well, your podcast, you guys just go in. I like how shady sometimes you get about the girls. It's very interesting. And it's a lot of fun. You guys do a really good job with the show. And now, your newest season, you guys are starting to cover different franchises within the Housewives. So what is the newest season? What Housewives are you guys covering?
So now we've changed our name to just the Real Housebears because the first season did so well. We decided to do more seasons. So the franchise that we're studying right now is New Jersey.
Oh God.
Love it.
Have y'all been watching this season?
I
have
haven't started
not.
it yet. Is it
But I
how
should.
okay? How is the difference between the girls? Because you have Salt Lake, and then you're going like the other extreme, Jersey.
Okay,
So I'm assuming it's a lot more drama.
Teresa Giudice
Yeah.
walked so Jen Shaw could run.
Okay, so there's
Okay, I
more-
got it, I got it.
somebody who's even more fucking nuts than
So much
Lisa.
more nuts.
It is.
Yeah.
It's too much almost.
That's a lot to digest, actually. I have to sit with that for a moment.
So you and your husband's like full, like all day long. It's probably housewife talk.
Oh, well, actually, we're not allowed to talk about the housewives. We have to save it
Oh.
for the podcast.
Oh,
Yes,
there you
that's
go.
what we
That's what we
always
do.
do.
That's it. We're like saving the
Smart.
show.
Tony's always like, shut the fuck up and save it.
Yeah.
We're sitting there taking notes, and we're like, "Ooh, oh, save it for the podcast."
How has the audience been for your guys' podcast? Because it did really well your first season. Like you guys came out strong.
It blew up really quick. We do have a really big female base, so that's really awesome to hear that people are like hearing about us. It blew up pretty quickly, and then once we started getting into the groove of what our show's going to be like, we started adding a lot of sound bites, which makes it a lot of fun. So it's been blowing up, and that's why we started another season, because people were like freaking out when the first season was ending. Like, what are we going to do next?
Yeah.
And I like how you guys cover it because you have two, and it's not, there's a lot of other Real Housewife show podcasts that cover the housewives, but you guys do it from a very, I don't know, it's a different take on it. And it's very funny. And you can tell that, especially your husband, are super fans.
Oh, yeah.
And
My
I think
husband-
that's the joy of it, is like you can hear how much you guys love the show and the franchises and stuff.
Mhm.
And it comes across. So another big news for you this year during COVID, you got married. You guys got married.
Yes.
And it was all
Congratulations.
congrats. And it
Very
was
much
all
so.
over social media. The proposal like blew up.
Yeah.
It was
our-
so cute.
Thank you so much. So it was totally off guard. We've been together for 7 years.
Mhm.
We've talked about marriage a lot, but we were like, let's just wait until we have enough money and blah, 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 blah. And I went and did a drive and drag show with Landon Sider and Bitch
cool.
Puddin from Dragula
Yeah.
in
Mhm.
Chicago. And our airport's brand new. It had just gotten built. Like right when COVID hit is when it opened, like quarantine.
Ugh.
So luckily when we got back, it's a brand new, beautiful airport. And I show up there to get picked up, and he gets down on one knee right there and proposes. And I don't remember very much after that because I was just shell shocked and tired from the flight and working all week. And so he wanted to get married like a couple days later. And I was like, well, I want a fun like date. And so we figured on October 30th. So then it's 10/30/20. I think that's a fun date. And plus, it's right around Halloween. So if we go anywhere, there's always going to be parties. And so we could celebrate our anniversary with a ton of people.
Right.
Smart.
That's smart.
Yeah.
And how did you have a wedding, or how did you guys do it?
Kind of. So it's a funny story. We went to our barber is completely straight, but he loves the gays. Like one time I told told him that his shop was very homophobic
Yeah.
because it had a lot of like naked girls and playboys everywhere.
You did not.
I did.
Look, and
And so-
your shirt says salty. There you were,
Oh,
salty.
salty, listen. And so this guy went out and got the picture of Burt Reynolds on the fur rug from the Playgirl issue, framed
love
it,
it.
and put it
That
in
is
his
awesome.
office right by his desk so that I can see it. It's like a big picture on his wall.
Oh,
So
nice.
really good.
That's nice.
Wow.
So then he said that he's ordained and he would love to marry us when we were ready to get married. And so we decided to do a surprise wedding. We rented our friend works at Squatters here in Utah. That's a restaurant, and got us the top floor and our own bartender. And we
Nice.
invited our
Nice.
friends for an engagement party, and it was a surprise wedding.
Oh, that's
how
awesome.
We just got married right then and there.
So you surprised all the guests?
Mm-hmm.
That's a fucking
That
cool
is
way
a
to
good.
do it.
That is.
That's a
How
great
I
way.
bet everybody was shook when they were like,
That's
everybody-
awesome.
So shook. They were like, some of the people started crying because they're just so happy. And plus, it
Aw.
was in the midst of COVID. It was in the midst of the horrible political debacles, and
Yeah.
so it was just everybody needed like a fresh,
Happy thing.
like something happy.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is
So-
such a good story. I love that. So,
So many.
Go
so
ahead,
many good
Bash.
tips out of you, Hunter. Like, okay, if I propose, it's going to be after a long flight, so that they're not expecting it, and they're just going to
Exactly.
agree, and then to surprise our friends with the wedding. I
Yeah,
like that.
there you go.
Everything's just a big surprise.
Yeah.
So since you've been in Salt Lake, for anybody who's never been to Salt Lake, what are your go-tos for Salt Lake? Places they need to do and stuff they need to visit and experience in Salt
Okay.
Lake.
You got to go up to Olympic Park, go see where they had the Olympics. You could go see where they did the luging, and you could go through their museum. It's really cool. It's all free too. So that's really fun. And then while you're up there, go to Park City.
Park City. And your favorite restaurants? Food. 'Cause I love me some
Okay.
food.
Lucky 13 has like the best burgers
Okay.
anywhere.
Mm.
Ooh.
Let's see. Oh, and for chicken, there's this place called Pretty Chicken, and they make
Pretty
their
Chicken.
like pretty. Oh no, it's Pretty Bird.
Pretty bird.
Chimed in out of nowhere.
he's hiding in the. He's like Pretty bird.
Yeah. So those are some really awesome places to go, and also up in Park City, there is an original Banksy spray paint
Yeah.
artist.
Oh, cool.
On the wall at one
Oh,
of the shops
nice.
up there, and they put like plexiglass over it to protect it.
Oh, that's really cool. Oh wow.
A lot of people
Nice.
didn't know that they have a Banksy here.
No, that's wow.
How is the Mormon culture up there? How has that interfered like in your guys' life at all, or
With
is
our
it just like
drinking.
when you, that's what I was
With your
going to ask
drinking.
because
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I love SLC Punk. That's one of like my favorite movies from
So
way back
good.
in the day. And I'll never forget that they had to like drive across state lines just to get alcohol. That's such a concept that is completely foreign to me.
Yeah,
And then
it's
Certain
crazy.
days too, right?
yeah, right.
I think there's certain days. I think you could now buy it on Sunday. You can't buy alcohol
Oh.
at like Walmarts and stuff like that. We can't do
What?
stuff like that. Yeah.
Not at the local Target. You can't go pick
So
up
there's
the
like-
jams.
There's assigned liquor stores.
Yeah,
Or-
there's a bunch of state liquor stores, and also when you're at the bars, they have like those little things that they put on the bottle tops that like
I hate
limit.
those. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
like Vegas.
God.
And
Like
you
Vegas.
can't walk around. You can't double fist. You can't walk around with two drinks at the same time.
How are
But
the
wait.
gays surviving there?
Wait a
I
minute.
know.
Barely.
But wait, you can drink on the street though?
No.
Oh.
No.
No.
I love
Oh, in
that
a bar you
on-
can't double.
In the
fist.
bar, you can't
Got
double
it, got
fist
it.
in
Yeah.
the bar. Yeah.
Okay.
Got it.
I love
It's-
on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake, Lisa actually has a tequila company. And she's
Oh,
Mormon.
And she sent us a bottle for
And
us.
how
too.
is it? How is it tequila? Because she talks about it all the time on the show.
Honestly, it's really good.
Oh, good.
Oh, good.
Like I want to say it's just as good as Patron,
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
just as
Yeah.
smooth. So it's good stuff.
Oh,
Nice.
Cool. So it's interesting her storyline because of that, and she's an active Mormon on the show, if I remember right.
Yes.
And how she deals with the whole and alcohol bit within the Mormon religion, which they go into on the show a lot about the Mormon religion, actually.
lot. Yeah.
And one of the reasons why I really identify with Heather is because the whole show is pretty much her journey leaving the religion
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
kind of starting
her-
over.
Her journey of self-discovery
Yeah.
and like self-worth again. Yeah.
And it's relatable for anybody who grew up in organized religion and you make that decision. Exactly, Bash. You and I both. All of us.
Recovery.
And going like, I'm leaving it. It's a journey and it changes your life. And she handled it so gracefully and so honest about it on the show. And like you were saying earlier, Hunter, I think that's one of the keys why she's been such a fan favorite on the show. And I think
Yeah,
it's really
it's-
cool that you guys are like actually friends. That is really cool.
No, we get messages from other podcasts that are
Yeah.
that are like recording just the Salt City Housewives.
Yeah.
and they get so jealous.
Oh,
They
I
get so
bet.
upset that we're friends with them, and they're like, "You're living our best life. I hate you."
You're like, I know, thank you.
Yeah. And like Dre, who is her co-partner at Beauty Love and Lab,
Yeah.
Beauty Love and Laser, Beauty Lab and Laser is their store, is their shop. I went out and I've actually gone and worked out with her a couple of times to help her train, and I ended up running into Tan from Queer Eye.
Oh, really?
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
What's he
cool.
doing out there?
I know. What is
He
he doing
lives here.
in Salt
He
Lake?
does?
Get him on your show. Get him on your show.
I sent him a message because I didn't want to do it like at the gym. I didn't want to be that
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, that guy.
But no, he hasn't messaged us back. But you want to know who else we ran into at a Aja came to Salt Lake City, and she was doing like a meet and greet.
From RuPaul's Drag Race?
Yeah.
Oh,
And has anybody watched Modern Family?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, the girl's boyfriend, that's the singer, that's the boyfriend throughout the whole
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Dylan, yeah.
One,
I
Dylan.
ran into him and his boyfriend at the event.
What?
I did not know he was in the Alphabet Mafia.
I had no idea either.
Wow.
Good for him.
But the other
Yeah.
thing
Okay.
Salt Lake is really known for is Sundance. So you guys
Yeah.
get
Yes.
celebrities coming all the time for Sundance.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
Which is-
couple of famous people that live up in Park City. This place
Wow.
is really kind of surreal. Everyone just thinks it's just religion here, but
Yeah.
this
No.
place has got a lot to offer.
Yeah.
I want to go, Tony. Let's go.
I know. Let's do
do a
it.
remote
Let's do
podcast.
it. And I love that you brought up that movie, Bashy, because that was like total
Oh, it's
90s.
so good.
It was
It's
so
so
good.
So
good.
good. Oh my gosh, so good. When he's like runs through the water with all the hits of acid.
Yeah.
He's like sitting on the chair and he's like, "How are you doing that? Walking
That's
on
Basha
water."
Cross.
That's what my cousin was like growing up. Like he was
Really?
one of those kids, and he went to this like music venue in San Diego called Soma, and was just
Oh, I
always
love
dropping acid
Soma.
and shit. And I was like,
fun.
oh, this is what you do in your free time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Impressionable young 9-year-old,
Right?
whatever.
So Hunter, one of your other big aesthetics, especially on the socials, is you're a muscle bear. But what I find very interesting is you didn't start out as a muscle bear, because there are pictures of very, very twinky
Yes.
Hunter Harden.
I
who
have seen
I was
those.
like,
Yes.
who is this? Who is this?
Hairless.
Young, hairless. Shay. Yeah. So
Little
when did
baby
your
Hunter.
transformation go from that into how you look now, where you are just full on daddy bear, muscle bear kind of guy, and really
Well-
represents that community a lot, actually.
Yeah, it's surprising to me because I was very twinkish, especially in my like Mr. S leather modeling days when I first started out. But that was like 10 years ago. So it's just like, I hate it. I got older.
It happens. It happens.
And so I've just like learned how to work out throughout
Yeah.
the years and stuff. And as honestly, as soon as I hit like 29, all of a sudden I felt like I hit like another wave of puberty, and all of a sudden all of my fur started coming out. I'm just like,
Yeah.
where is all this fur coming from?
Do you think you have been more accepted in the bear community now that your outside looks more bearish than maybe if you weren't bearish now, I guess, if that makes any sense?
Yeah, kind of to a degree, yes. I've kind of been shunned by the community a lot too,
Really?
because of being a muscle bear. Yeah. Especially like when I moved out here, everybody kind of already knew who I was just from Instagram.
Mhm.
And I've had multiple people here say like, we really didn't want to like you when you moved here because we thought you were just like an Instagram hoe, but you're like the nicest and sweetest person ever. And I'm like, thanks.
You're like, I don't know how to take that as a. Do I take it as a
Yeah.
compliment?
I know. I was
What do
like, should I not post pictures like that on Instagram?
Please
Well,
don't stop.
Yeah, please don't stop. Please,
Keep
please
posting.
don't. Well, we first met you at DryCon, like we had said, and I had followed you on Insta, and I remember seeing a post. I forget, it was one of your videos, and it was really hilarious. I'm like, who is this guy? He's funny. And then we met you and your husband at DryCon, and you guys were so gracious and nice, and like just
Oh, thank
so down to earth. And I was like, oh, they're like, because you always have this perception of Instagram people or people that are
Yeah.
very image, and you're like, oh, they're probably going to be an asshole. But no, completely like not even close when we met. I was like, oh, I
Oh,
like
thank you. That
him.
makes me feel so much better. Like,
Yeah, because there has been times when I've met somebody who I've only known on Insta, and then you get them in person, and they've just been like, ooh.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Batchy knows what I'm talking about.
But I will say DragCon is a pleasant surprise because we were
Yeah.
kind of like new to everything. And
Oh, yeah.
most people were so friendly and nice.
Yeah,
and I just
everybody
remember
was
you
really
walking
cool.
around in a harness with a bejeweled like horse head or something.
Yeah.
oh, yes.
Yeah, that
Oh my
bejeweled
God.
horse head.
Where did you get that thing?
He made it.
You made it?
Oh,
Oh, it was a
yeah.
bull. That's
bull,
right.
yeah.
That's so
Oh.
cool.
Oh, and if you look at Hunter's Instagram now, you just posted a video of the helmet you did, the space helmet,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is so cool. And I'm like,
So-
how
Hunter,
the
you're
hell did
making
he
all
do
of
that,
that?
and how long did that
Yeah.
take?
You're
This is like-
rhinestoning?
Yeah, I like
Wow.
gemstone all this.
Jesus Christ, Hunter. That's a lot.
That is a lot of
So for our
rhinestones.
podcast listeners, it is like a space helmet that is gold trimmed in like a mirror. Can you see out of the mirror? That is so cool. And then just bejazzled the fuck out of it. It is so cool.
It looks like a prop out of a music video.
I
It's
know.
so
I know.
intricate.
I'm upset because Daft Punk just quit. So
Oh,
yeah.
I guess I'll be the new Daft Punk.
There you go.
Or you could recreate that scene in Barbarella because
Oh,
Tony just watched that on his
yeah,
other
we
podcast.
we just reviewed
Oh my
Barbarella.
gosh, that is such a good idea.
The non-gravity striptease that Jane Fonda does at the beginning of the movie.
That was
Yeah,
so
recreate
awesome.
it, please.
Yes, I'm gonna have to do that. I
So
have.
do you sell your headpieces on into how if anybody was interested, or do you custom pieces?
I have done some custom pieces in the past. A lot of people want the hoods and stuff, but then I'm
Yeah.
like, it costs this much because of how much time goes into
Yeah.
it. And they're just like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I thought it was gonna be like $20 or something. I'm like, no.
No.
No, absolutely the fuck
No.
not.
And they gotta
No.
also think they're getting kind of like a one of a kind. It's not like
Yeah.
mass produced either.
Yeah, there's been a couple people after I debuted that at the drag cons.
Yeah.
Some other people have tried to recreate it, but this is like the original style. Like there's not one that's built the same way that mine is.
Yeah,
Right.
they're really cool.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I have a bear one that I'm working on too.
How long does it
what?
take you to do one piece? A bear one.
A
A
bear
bear
one. Cool,
Yeah.
cool. I love
Um,
that.
Man, the bullhead took me probably 3 months.
Jesus
do-
Christ.
Just like maybe because like I couldn't sit there and just do it all day. So I
Yeah.
would do like maybe an hour or two a day.
Yeah.
And work on it every day a little bit and like try to finish a section every
Yeah.
day. But like
Oh,
my
that's
eyes
cool.
would start like bleeding because I'm like staring at all these things.
You're like,
like-
no more
You
stones.
like
I
turn
can't
away and
live."
everything's still shiny.
Yeah, just like, ah! I'm dead.
Oh,
my
man.
God.
But I miss DragCon. I hope we get it back soon
Me
at
too.
some
Too.
point. But
Yeah.
since we're talking DragCon, are you up on Drag Race?
Yes, I just watched the new episode last night.
Oh, okay, good. What did you think? I'm very
Okay.
curious your opinion on this.
This was my favorite episode because for one,
Yep.
it made Candy Muse likable.
Really?
I felt until the
Ish.
very end.
I know, I was like,
Ish. Like I want to find something about everybody that I like.
Yeah.
I don't like hating somebody. So like that episode, I really kind of liked her because
Yeah.
with who was she with?
Got Mick.
Got Mick.
Yeah.
And they worked so well off of each other, and I felt like a real friendship built there. And
Yeah.
she kind of, I don't know, it just made her feel more human.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Eric and I watched it last night,
Oh, you
and she
did.
actually had some pretty fucking funny one-liners out of that episode
I
too.
just,
Yeah.
She had me till the end, and I was like, nope. And then in an Untucked, I was like, oh my God, who made you the drag race expert? Why do we have to listen to you? Why are you the end all? Like,
I
just
was like,
shut up
don't
already.
ruin it.
I
I
know.
know.
Yes.
And she keeps doing that. I'm just like, just stop talking. Just stop
Yeah.
talking. And
But
you'll
you
be
know,
fine.
those producers were like, we're keeping her on. Don't
Oh,
kick her
yeah.
off.
Oh,
yet.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Personality here.
Yeah.
Should we do a spoilers warning?
Spoilers warning. There, go.
Did you guys agree with who went home last night? Though?
um,
Did not either.
I thought Olivia should have instead
I
of
agree.
Denali.
I
Mhm.
don't
Well-
think any of them were gonna make it to top 4,
No.
but
Mhm.
I feel Denali had more to give.
She's
Yeah.
just so
Yeah.
fucking talented. Like
Yeah.
I hope she comes back for All Stars, which
Do you
I do
think
think is going to happen.
what do you
but
think makes her more talented than Olivia? Because she ice skates?
I think she's more well-rounded.
Okay.
Thank you. And I'm
Yeah.
so
Olivia is very green too to drag.
yeah.
Yeah.
I will say though, looking at Olivia's wig last night,
That line.
it was a
that
little rough.
line.
But
Yeah.
and Denali did that.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
but the outfit that she put Denali in was just
Also,
yeah, it
very
was
basic.
terrible.
Yeah.
The wig was wrong.
yeah.
I mean, and that was mean to like put her in that dress and make her dance lip sync.
yeah, I
I
was
know.
so
About
mean.
that.
Yeah,
That was
that's rough.
shady.
Sabotage.
Yeah.
What did you think of the winners of this week, which was I'm gonna fuck up the name, Utica and did I say it right, Robbie?
That sounded out.
good.
Yeah.
Shut up, I hate you. And Simone, what did you think of the two winners, Hunter?
They deserved it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They deserved it 100%. They both embodied each other, and I was
Yes.
really happy that Utica was able to restrain her goofiness and like
Mhm.
length, and she really channeled her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And the same
Yeah.
was Simone. She came out and it was so different than what she has done, and it was just really cool. Like
They both
their
looked
whole looks were
fucking
so cool.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Watching. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, like, it was exact. Like, I think Michelle Visage said it was the perfect editorial look for both of them.
Yes. Exactly. What did
Yeah,
you
when
think
they-
of the whole Candy Muse and Got Mick thing, and how Candy on the runway really called out Olivia, and not just called out, but just was like, these bitches, and just got all Candy Mused on it for. She's like, I'm just gonna make good TV. I was just like, shut up.
I know. I was like, oh, I love Kenny Muse right now. Oh, never
Never
mind.
mind.
I hate it when somebody calls out the rest of the team saying ours was the hardest challenge more than anybody else's, because everybody else's had different challenges for
Mhm.
reasons.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
I wasn't like feeling Got Mix outfit. I thought it looked more like Tina Burner dressed her.
I thought
did
the
too.
same way. And it
Yeah.
hit her face when she took those glasses off. She was gorgeous.
Oh
underneath.
yeah. Yeah. It was
I don't know.
interesting. What did
It
you
was
think,
an
Derek?
interesting episode.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was safe, but it was definitely not winning worthy for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Who
Yeah.
do you think Hunter is gonna take home the crown for this season? Who is like your pick?
I honestly, Simone, right? Is that
Yeah.
your name, Simone? I honestly think she's gonna take the
I
crown.
do too. Watch it
because-
be Candy.
Shut up.
I'll stop watching. I'm done.
It's like the last season where Gigi Good didn't win.
I know. And you know RuPaul's gonna be like, I'm gonna fuck with everybody. Let's make Candy Muse win. How do you like that? Are you watching UK Drag Race at all?
No, I'm not.
Oh, it's
There's so
good.
much reality TV to watch.
I
And now that we
know.
do Housewives,
Yeah.
we have to watch it like 3 days in a row to take notes and like
Yeah.
get sound bites and then record. And I'm just like, my brain can't handle anymore.
It's a lot of work when you podcast.
is.
People think you just sit in front of a mic, but no.
Yeah.
There's
There's a lot of
research.
Yes.
Oh man, but I think this season of Drag Race has been pretty good. It's been very entertaining. I like
Mhm.
it.
Chef's kiss on this episode.
You know, because they had a hard job, because season 12 was just amazing. I thought it had a great cast. In season 13, they're keeping it going. I mean, they did a great job this season. They got a good cast, a lot of
Mhm.
great moments.
And I think
Yeah.
like we know what the editing is, but wow, has the production on this season has been really good, I think too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and
Oh, yeah.
RuPaul's looks and makeup.
Yes.
Oh, this whole season,
Yes.
gorgeous.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just have to say one thing about the makeup.
Yes.
Last night?
Here it goes. Go
No,
ahead,
not
we're waiting.
just there's this new trend where they're doing the white line to contour their nose, but now they're also powdering their nostrils.
And it looks like a
whiter.
cokehead.
Yeah.
So then it looks like your nose is completely flat, but you got two little nostrils
Nostrils.
there.
I'm gonna have to notice that next time.
Yeah, I
know.
did know.
I shouldn't have said anything because
Now that's all
if
we're
you
gonna see.
know,
Thank you, Hunter.
That's all you'll see.
Damn it.
You'll just be like,
She's like,
all show.
Maybe it's not contour. Maybe that's really what it is.
I mean, she's doing so much. I wouldn't blame her.
Right?
God.
Producer
Right.
Rob, what do we have in the YouTube?
My mic.
I
was
know,
have to
your
turn my
mic.
on. No, I was just gonna say, every day we record Saturdays 12:30 Pacific time in the afternoon. You could join us live on our YouTube channel and join in the chat. But I was just wanting to say, Susan's watching.
I
on
see
YouTube.
that.
And she was just mentioning that first, Tony, you look really cute today
Thank you
with
so
your
much.
with your glasses and your pretty shirt. But she also was just wondering if Hunter and your husband have been to Red Iguana in Salt Lake City. You guys are talking about food. She said they have awesome tequila and really good mole. And
We were talking. Was that the restaurant you were
Before
talking
the
about before we
show.
went live?
Yeah.
It was.
Red Iguana. Yeah.
What is Red Iguana for people who don't know?
It is a good Mexican restaurant. They have this like mango enchilada that's delicious.
Oh.
It's so good,
Ooh.
but I just don't like their salsa.
No.
So
Why is
I
it too
have to
chunky?
judge everything when I go to a Mexican restaurant.
yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
too chunky or too like not spicy enough?
It's not the right taste and texture for me.
Oh,
I like it when it's like
understandable.
super blended up and I get a nice heat to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
I'm a
Like
We
salsa
have-
taco shop salsa.
Taco
Yeah.
shop salsa. Yup. We have tons of Mexican food here in San Diego.
We do?
Yes. Bitch. How many?
Whatever,
Okay,
why?
Bashy.
Why?
How many
What?
frozen burritos do you have in your fridge?
I know.
Okay, so that was panic buying at the
That
start of
was-
quarantine. And I thought I would never get a burrito again, so I bought like 12 California burritos and froze them for the apocalypse. And that was my head start on everybody.
Yeah.
The
Naturally.
problem was I got COVID like in
Yeah.
March of last year, so I couldn't taste anything.
all
And now
those-
they're all just like frozen and frostbitten, and they're just sitting in my freezer.
Oh no!
Wait, they're still there,
Such a
Bash?
waste.
Oh,
Well, I don't know what's
God.
gonna happen. A fucking comet could hit.
Well, it could. I mean, we had that weird boom that happened last week in San Diego.
I'm
So, I mean, anything's possible.
I'm sorry. We have a nuclear sub base, a naval air force
Yeah.
base,
It
a
was so
shipbuilding
military.
facility. It's got.
It was so
It's gotta
military. And they're
be.
just like, no, it wasn't us. What are you talking about?
They're all just trying to freak everyone
I
out.
know.
Exactly. They're like, let's
2021.
just keep them on their toes a little bit. They're getting a little too comfortable dining out. Just send a boom out.
Exactly.
Just rattle their windows a little. Get them back inside. That's what
So
it
you
was.
guys felt it though?
We are, because we're on the 4th floor. So our sliding doors all shook. But when there's an earthquake, the blinds, everything shakes. It was just the doors.
happen.
And that was it.
Yeah.
Huh.
And we're like, and then we looked and there was no earthquakes for that day at all. And it wasn't just us. Firefighter Steve, he messaged me and he was like, did you just feel that? And I was like, yeah, him and his neighbors were outside and they're in City
Oh,
Heights.
he was in the city.
Yeah. And so I was like, what the
Yeah.
hell is going on? And then I looked at the news and there was nothing, no earthquakes, nothing with the weather. And
Do you
stuff,
guys
so-
have natural disasters in Salt Lake City?
I have a funny story. Okay, so my birthday, I'm going to throw this in. My birthday's March 18th next week.
Oh,
Okay,
look,
noted.
happy birthday.
So last year, went into quarantine. Then on the morning of my birthday, we had an earthquake, and it's the
You
first time I
did?
ever had an earthquake. And
Ooh.
it like we woke up out of bed, our entire bed was shaking side to side. Everything was falling off of our walls. It felt like 20 minutes, but it was probably like 5 minutes.
Oh, wow.
5 minutes is a long time for
Yeah.
an earthquake.
Yeah.
It was
How-
a lot. It was scary. We're on the
How-
4th floor, so we like really just shook.
Oh, you guys
side to
shook. How big of an earthquake was it? Did they say?
side. I want to say it was like at a 5 or a 6. I
Oh,
can't
That's a
remember.
good size
It was
earthquake.
really-
That's
it was
good. Yeah.
scary. It
Yeah.
it knocked the little angel that blows the horn off of the top of the Mormon temple.
See, God's sending you a message. The Mormons.
Whoa.
That's a sign from the divine.
Exactly. So that was like the first time I've ever been through a national disaster, and in Utah, and on my birthday. So I guess when I entered this world, I shook the world, and I just had to do it again.
Apparently, you shook the angel right off the temple.
I sure did.
You're like, I'm here. This is what I'm gonna do.
We haven't had one, knock on wood.
I
know.
know.
Oh,
don't
don't
even
say
mention
that.
those words.
not in
Bash.
California.
God.
I actually love earthquakes.
What, you psycho? What is
They're
wrong
my
with you?
favorite. I mean, I don't want a big one, but it's always nice to just
See, when
rattle
it
the earth a
happens,
little
I'm like,
bit.
oh, I'm having a stroke. This is it. Bye. I'm leaving the world. That's what
I
it
want to
is.
say, like, the worst part of an earthquake is the week afterwards. You get tons of
the
tremor.
aftershocks.
the
Yeah.
aftershocks.
Yeah.
So, like, throughout the whole day, you're just like, huh.
Yeah.
Okay, it's over. Oh no, this is
Yeah.
it. We're going down.
Yeah, this is it. This is our swan song.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last one I think I felt was in Japan, actually, when we went out with Derek and Danny.
In Japan.
It was a big one in like South Japan, and it was like an 8. We felt it in Tokyo.
Oh
Ooh.
gosh.
Those ones are
Yeah.
fucking scary. I don't want to live like under one of those faults that do
No.
tsunamis and shit. We don't
Because
have
after
thank God.
that comes tsunamis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's not over.
I don't fuck with those ones.
So there was
No.
this there's been these video trends that's on TikTok and social media in the last week, since we're talking about tsunamis, that if you go, Alexa, is California safe? Alexa comes back with, California will be safe till 2023 when a giant tsunami is going to take out San Francisco and over like 2 million people.
I hate
And it's
that.
people have been
Why did she
recording
say
this and
that?
putting it on like
Oh, it's
social.
fake.
And I'm like, fucking Alexa. She's like, I'm
Oh.
gonna fuck with everybody.
Also, though, we have too many people here, so if she's keeping more out, that's okay.
Yeah. Downsizing.
We just recently got an Alexa and
Yeah.
we got like a vacuum robot.
The
and we
Roomba?
are like emotionally attached to
Oh.
our robot vacuum.
Are you serious? He put googly eyes on his. So for our podcast audience, Bashi actually has one. Is it a Roomba?
This
And
is
he-
yes.
And he put googly eyes on it. So
And
it
it's-
looks
Love it.
like it's smiling at him when it's
What did you
putting
name it,
phone.
Hunter?
Brunhilde.
Okay, we
Broomhilda.
named him Chad.
That's a
Chad.
good name.
I call him Chadwick, but every single time we're always like, "Thank you for doing that, Chad." We don't want to be mean to him. We're like emotionally invested in him, and we talk to him. And I'm like, "So how was your day, Chad?"
So you guys got married, had a child named Chad that cleans your house for you. Wow, good for you guys.
What can I say?
Oh, poor Chad.
Chad,
You
we
just
love
keep him in the closet until you need him.
I love when you get a notification where it's like Chad is stuck on a ledge and needs attention, and it's
Yeah,
like,
I'm like,
don't jump, don't do it, Chad,
Don't do it, Chad.
Yes. We love you, Chad. Don't do it.
Oh my god. Oh man, but yeah, Salt Lake City, you guys don't get a whole bunch of natural disasters, do you?
That sounds
No.
nice.
That sounds very
Yeah.
nice. Unlike
Good place
here.
to be.
Unlike, oh god, this is the day. This is when it's all gonna end.
Yeah.
It's well protected. It's high.
Yeah.
You know?
Perfect. Like once California falls into the ocean, we might
have
have
beachfront.
beachfront property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean we're gonna break off and become an island?
I
Can you
would love
imagine?
that.
Me
That would be-
too.
That would be amazing.
I want to be an island.
An
I just
island.
want to take. I want to take Baja and just drift into the Pacific. We'll be a new Hawaii.
There you go. Why not? How has COVID? How have you guys dealt with COVID in the last year or so? You guys.
Well, we honestly think we might have gotten it in March of last year.
Oh, just like that she did. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was booked for TBRU in Texas, Texas Bear Roundup.
Yeah.
And we got there, and that day before quarantine happened, and so they
Mhm.
canceled everything, but they still had like a
Oh.
dance party.
Oh.
And I danced at the party, and my husband was out in the crowd, and one of our friends afterwards had COVID, and when we got home, we got really sick.
Oh no.
I kind of lost my taste for chips for some reason.
You got it.
So I think
Yeah.
I think we got it, but we just figured at that point, if you had it, you were already in the hospital. So we
Yeah.
had no idea. But the more we hear other people's experiences, we're like, maybe we got it.
You
Oh,
definitely did.
You definitely
Yeah.
did. Because that's what happened with Bashi. It was really bizarre how You
Yeah.
lost your sense of taste. I remember you were freaking out about it.
He
Eric-
couldn't taste his burritos.
Yeah.
I couldn't taste my burritos, and
I
it was just a
know.
waste of money and time. But Eric and I actually went to a huge music festival on the Bayfront,
Yeah.
and that was like we were patient zeros. Like that was the
Yeah.
first outbreak in San Diego,
Yeah.
and I definitely had it. So
yeah.
you know what? I'm glad I did, just because now I know it wasn't gonna do something so terrible. But I'm just so excited over the next couple months because we're gonna be out of this faster
God, I
than you
hope
know
so.
it. I
I
really
want to
do.
get back to seeing people in person and going out
Yes.
like we used to. And
Yeah.
I'm starting to get booked for events.
Yay.
Good.
I hope you
year,
get booked
so-
here in San Diego so you can come and be in the show in person.
Yes.
Yeah.
I really want to. I miss
Yeah.
San Diego so much.
I miss being able to do the show in person. Like everybody, we all came over and then we would pre-drink. Kind of get
Yes.
tipsy and then do the show, and whatever happened. And
I
then we
love
would
that.
keep
Yeah.
partying afterwards. Those are the days. They
Yeah.
were so fun. Because you never knew what was going to happen once Bashy gets a couple vodkas in him. It was always.
I was always the good one.
Were you though? I mean, there are
What?
recordings.
I know,
of you
but
getting
I've heard
free-
the show before.
Should we bring up our first 420 episode? You guys
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
No,
I have
Joey,
videos on my phone.
We
Shut
have the receipts.
It would only be if we ended up at number one. Then it was no whole.
We always ended up at number one.
We
What are you
always.
talking about?
Look. I've aged a year. It's
Yeah.
different. I'm more mature. It's not going to happen again.
Are you though?
I don't know.
Well, speaking of age,
420
of-
is coming up.
it is.
It is.
We
We got to redo that episode.
I know,
Are we
we got
going
to do
to?
something. Yeah, well, of course we're gonna have a 420 episode. We do it every year. Last year we did our 420 episode. It got pulled down from YouTube.
Did it really?
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, fuck, and it was a great episode.
Is that even an issue anymore?
What
It
was I
lands
gonna
on
bring
a
up?
it lands
So
on a
weird.
Tuesday this year.
Oh, it does.
So
Oh, you
I'll
know
take the
what,
day off.
Bashy, I was gonna get your opinion on this because one of your favorite shows of all time is getting rebooted. Queer as Folk. It's been in the rumors, but now it's actually
it's
happening.
like actually happening though,
Yeah.
because they keep saying that.
No,
and
it's
it never
actually
does.
happening. The producers of It's a Sin decided they're gonna reboot Queer as Folk because of the success of It's a Sin.
Is it going to be
Wow.
campy though, or is it going to be like Euphoria?
Well, this is what they're saying. The article was saying that it's going to be more of the UK version of Queer as Folk and not the American version.
which I think was a little. I've never seen the UK
I've
version.
never
Is
seen
it?
the UK.
It was
UK
better.
was really
Really?
Yeah.
good, but it was
was
only
really good.
two seasons, if I remember. And then they did the US version, which ran for a long time. So it'll be interesting how they're gonna do it. Oh,
show-
and Punky Brewster's getting rebooted. Did you guys see
I
that?
saw that yesterday. I was like, what?
I know.
That
It's like,
don't make
why
any sense.
Punky
Asking for
Brewster?
that.
Do we need a rebooted Punky Brewster?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
exactly.
Nobody asked for that.
I
No.
know. Jeez.
When is this new Queer as Folk coming
So
out?
they're talking fall of this year that it might be premiering on BBC.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
I am in my line of work because Brian Kinney.
I know. We've covered that
Really?
extensively.
I
on
wanted
this
I
show.
wanted a downtown loft and having sex with lots of people and work in marketing, and I got 2 out of 3 of those. So
Yeah, no downtown law for him. Oh man! But before we end the show, we're gonna do one of our favorite segments that we really have not done in a couple weeks. It is time for Yay, Carol of the Week.
Carol, for once in your life, shut your damn mouth.
Yes, and Miss Miriam T's not here to do the Carol dance. But for anybody who doesn't know, Carol of the Week is just something that's been pissing you off, a gripe you want to get off your chest. That is our Carol. Who wants to go first? Who has a Carol? To you, Bashi? You always are good with the
I
Carol.
have to think of one.
You know what? I'll start. So
Okay.
my Carol is more of advice that I noticed with people. Because of COVID, there's a lot of people who are just at home a lot and don't go out and all that stuff. Even if you talk to your friends or text them every day, once in a while, just send them a text out of the blue saying, "Hey, how are you?" And
Mhm.
really ask how they're doing. Because I noticed it happened this week. I did it with a couple people, and they were just like, "Thank you. I really just needed somebody to check in on me." So yeah, that's kind of my little carol. Just check on your friends that you haven't talked to in a while.
I
and see if
really
they're
love that.
okay.
That's actually what I learned from last year, is to contact my friends and family more and just
Yeah.
talk to them, because I had a friend that just passed away 2 weeks ago from COVID, and he was my age and stuff. And so it just really, COVID kind of put what was important in your
Yeah.
life like a little bit more prominent.
Yeah,
So I
it's
love that,
just
Carol.
yeah,
That's
it
such a
just
nice
dawned on me.
carol.
I
That was a
know it
nice
was like
carol.
more advice because I was like, because I also noticed I was having a conversation with one of my other friends who were like, yeah, I've lost friendships during COVID because people just stopped contacting, or it was like you don't reply back to them, they just forget about you, type of a thing. So it was just like, well, friendships are two ways. You can't always be the one going, hey, how are you, and not getting anything back. Or you can't be the one who's just sitting there and ghosting people and being quiet if your friends are kind of checking on you. So it kind of goes both ways with friendships, I guess. But I just thought it, just check up on people, see if they're okay.
Yeah.
It'll make somebody's day.
Exactly. I love that.
That's a good one, Tony.
Who's next? Who has a carol? Something not as nice.
I think I've thought of
Okay,
one.
go ahead, Bashi.
It is annoying though. I think people need to prioritize their fucking values and really think about
Okay.
the crosses that they want to die on. Like, you're gonna be pissing and moaning about a Dr. Seuss book that depicts black people as monkeys, but you're not gonna say shit during the George Floyd issues
Mhm.
or try to do anything for that. Like, shut the fuck up. Like,
Yeah.
grow some empathy and stop making yourself look like a fool, because that's what's going on right now. Like,
Yeah.
even people very close to me were like, I can't believe they're canceling Dr. Seuss. I'm like, nobody's fucking canceling
They're
Dr.
not.
Seuss.
And
And
they're
also-
taking the books. Those books have been.
It's a private business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a
Whoever
choice of
fucking
the
heard of these
family.
books?
Yeah.
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 I'm like, this is ridiculous. So that pissed me off a lot last week.
Okay.
That one's good.
Yeah.
Definitely good.
But it was an interesting article with the whole Dr. Seuss, how people were coming after the author, but it was the family's choice because they wanted to be respectful and all of that. And the books that did get taken, like, that are not going to
I
be
had never
published
read 'em.
anymore. Exactly. They weren't the popular ones. And there was a reason why they're not the popular ones.
And they're just taking those things down so people that are racist can't use that
Exactly.
to like train
Or-
the young ones.
Or why do you want young kids reading that? Like,
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
how kids were. We all grew up. They're going to see something and make fun of people for it. So just remove that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not a big fucking deal. I don't know why you want kids reading racist books. It may be saying something about your character.
And about your
Have any of
parenting.
you-
About
Have
your
any of you
parenting.
guys like gone back and rewatched any of your old like TGI Friday TV shows?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Some things have
Yeah.
not aged well, and I know
Yeah.
that it's coming from a different time, but I'm
Yeah.
also sitting there and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like, it's
so
just
cringy.
Yeah.
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 Improvement. Oh my gosh, I rewatched.
Home
It was my
Improvement?
favorite show as a kid, and I watched Home Improvement again. I was like, this is the most homophobic show I have ever, and misogynistic.
Oh,
my
yeah.
god.
I need to
Yeah.
go back on that one.
Yeah.
Oh man, but there was an article. Oh, this was a big thing that happened this week too. Before we move on, French magazine illustrator Charlie Hebdo did a.
Oh, yes.
Did you read about that, Bash? That was some
No, but I knew
fucked
that
up
they had
shit.
that attack like way back because
Yeah.
they depicted.
So he did a
Muhammad.
cartoon portraying Meghan Markle as George Floyd with
no.
Queen kneeling on his neck, and the caption of the magazine read, "Why Meghan Markle left the Buckingham Palace? Because I couldn't breathe." And it has been like, and they're not going to take the guy who did the illustration and in charge of this magazine is not really like, he's not responding to people's comments or anything and keeping it up and saying that it's like artwork and whatnot. But like, I saw the picture. I'm like, I can't believe this asshole did that. Like, it is so offensive.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
people,
That's rough.
come on. What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Well,
use
you
a
just took
different
my
amount.
carol.
Okay, there's that.
Oh,
That is a carol if I've ever heard.
It was
one.
gonna be people saying shit about Meghan Markle and Piers Morgan this
Oh,
week.
fucking
Like,
Piers Morgan.
you're
What an
awful.
asshole. He's
You're
been
a
awful
fucking
for a
Carol.
long time.
mhm.
Ugh.
I wonder how long do you guys think the monarchy has? Because I'm giving it 10 years tops. And I think
Well,
they're
they've
gonna
lasted 100 or
solve it.
hundreds and hundreds, so who knows?
Yeah.
I think this might be the death knell, though.
Huh?
It's just
Thousands.
too much.
Yeah.
It'll be like 2030, and that'll be like the new 2020, but
There
for
you go.
them.
Give it a
Yeah.
decade. Do you have a Carol
Yeah.
Hunter?
I would probably have to say, because didn't Texas recently lift the ban off of masks?
Oh my God, I
these
know.
idiots.
I think that's my Carol. That can you guys not jump the gun so quickly? We've lasted this long.
Just what's
Yeah.
another
Just
month?
last a little
Yeah.
bit longer because other people are still dying from COVID
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
Can you not be Texas for once?
Can we not be Texas for
I
once?
know. I mean, it's just stupid. Like, why would these people? These
They're like,
people.
we 10% vaccinated. All right.
All right, we're good.
Let it open.
Let everybody go wild. Come on. You know what I mean? I don't get it. It's just so dumb. But here in California, they're hoping we move into the red tier next week.
I hope
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
We'll get
Gosh, for
indoor
California.
dining at that point.
Yeah, which would be nice. But that is our show. I'm so glad we finally got you on the show, Hunter.
I had so much fun with you guys. I've been waiting for this for
I
so
know.
long.
It was
Oh,
such a
We need to do
pleasure.
it again when we can
Yes.
do it in person.
I know it will
Absolutely.
be so much fun.
I will come to San Diego. I'll
Yeah.
wear like a nice like breezy shirt that like sets me up with San Diego. I won't be so salty there.
Oh, come on. So
It
how
can
do
get pretty
people
salty.
how do people find you? How do they find the podcast? Give everybody all of your info so they can check you guys out.
Alrighty. You could find me at Hunter Harden on social media platforms. On Twitter, I am Hunter Harden 86. I couldn't get that name quick enough. And our podcast is at the Real Housebears.
Yes, and you can get the podcast Spotify, iHeart, all over the place.
Anywhere you listen to your podcast, we're
you
there.
go. And how do people find you, Bashi?
I'm at _bash on Instagram, and
Yes.
I'm still working on the TikTok. It's coming.
Oh, have you posted anything?
I
Did?
got kind of viral on my
Kinda.
first post.
How do you
Yeah,
know
like
kinda.
I got like
She's like, I got
8,000
100. No, I'm kidding.
It's literally my first one, and I got like 8,500
Gonorrhea
views.
viral.
Shut
Gonorrhea.
the fuck up!
Look who woke up and delivered one
It's
joke
been
this episode.
7 years.
Welcome,
Bye,
Eric.
guys.
How do people
I have
find
been
you,
a
Eric?
fucking saint.
I am Party Bear Eric on Instagram.
There you go. And you can follow the podcast at Who Invited Her _podcast on Instagram. We're Who Invited Her SD on Twitter and Facebook. You can follow me. It's Tony _baloney _macaroni. Make sure you go follow the podcast wherever you get podcasts. On Apple Podcasts, give us a 5-star rating. It helps us out a lot. And you can watch us every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. on Out at TV. Go check out Out at TV. They have lots of great programming. You can see some of other shows that I really like What a Shit Show with Grotesca and Kevy Kev. And if you really want an in-depth review of Drag Race, go check out Drag Race Roundup with Captain Steve and Erica Fox. They do a really good job with that. Oh, and my other favorite show on there is Rebel Buzz. She does a great music show. Go check it out. It's all on Out at TV. You can watch my other show, Film Springa, every Friday night at 8 p.m. This coming up week, we're doing Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
Ooh, that's a good
I
one.
know. It's going to be so much fun.
Right on top of that, Rose.
I'm right on top of that, Rose. Exactly. And go check out our website. We have all of our merch up there if you want to buy shirts and all that good stuff. And thank you again, Hunter, for doing the show. I cannot wait till you come and do an episode in person. It's going to be so much fun.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
Yes, and we will see everybody next week. Have a great rest of the weekend. And that is it for us. Bye.
Thanks, Hunter.